Start the recording there, and then we'll just get this flipped over. So make yourself comfortable. Whoops. Oh, and there I have to put that a little higher. Oh, shoot. Okay.
You rolling?
How about, would you object if you sat here and I sat there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you're a little shorter than me, so it makes more sense for me to sort of
No problem.
melt into the background here. Hi there, this is Leif Gregerson, your narrator, and I'm interviewing Sandy McNeil. Just sort of try to hide my stomach there. We did another video with Sandy last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about some of the issues that Sandy has. Sandy and I both live in a multi-house group home, and it's for adult males with mental health issues, and there's a lot of dynamics that go on around it, and there's a lot of different things. Each person is different. We just got a new guy in today, and he's got a past that's different and a future that's different, you know, and it just sort of, sometimes it's difficult to first come into a situation. Can you tell us, Sandy, what it was like when you first came into the Lodge?
I was quite scared. I wouldn't eat my meals in the kitchen. I'd eat them on the picnic table outside.
Oh, okay.
Because I was too afraid to go in.
Now,
but now I eat all my meals inside. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like when directly before you came here, where were you at?
At a 6 or 7 story apartment building called Ashton Apartments.
Was that like a subsidized situation?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Now we have a program here in Canada. A lot of housing for disabled people is set up to be subsidized.
Mm-hmm.
What they generally do is they gear it at about a third of your income, and we're very fortunate we get a disability income, and at least where we are here, they don't take the full third. They discount some of it. They allow us some leeway. And can you tell us, for example, Sandy, what some of your extra money goes to?
I try to basically save it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of help quitting smoking when I moved in here. I was smoking quite heavily, and the pharmacist who comes in the main house, you guided me on the patch for about 2 to 2.5 years.
Mm.
And since then, that was about 3 years ago. Since then, I'm completely nicotine free.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no patches anymore.
Pardon me?
No, you don't even use the patch anymore then?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm nicotine free and smoke free.
No, maybe this is something that would interest some of our viewers, because it's a serious problem among people with mental health issues to be heavy smokers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually been found, some interesting statistics are that, well, one thing I know is that smoking mimics in some ways the actions of antidepressants.
Mm-hmm.
And just about everybody who has a mental health issue is on some form of antidepressant.
Yeah.
And they can become heavy smokers and become very addicted to smoking because of that.
Yeah.
Now myself, my own experience, I just saw a respiratory therapist, and I had to do this thing where I breathed in very deeply and then blew as hard as I could into a tube. And now I've quit smoking for 9 years.
Good.
Through the same guy, Ron, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But my lungs, because of all the scarring and the heavy smoking,
Mm-hmm.
are equal to a 72-year-old man's lungs.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, but she said that's not serious. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it won't. It's not a matter that when I'm 72, my lungs will be 140.
Yeah.
But it's just that I have to be aware and never go back to smoking. It's very, be very detrimental.
Yeah, it's like they say, it's easy to start but hard to quit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
when I
That's
quit,
what they say about, excuse me, that's what they say about drugs and alcohol and,
yeah,
you know.
once you start, you'll either quit or it'll
Yeah,
kill you.
you're hooked. I consider myself to be quite fortunately.
Uh-huh,
I got a lot of good help, a lot of support.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
For about the first year and a half when I moved into Meadows,
Mm-hmm.
I was smoking like 2 packs a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really...
Were you rolling your cigarettes?
No,
or
I
were
was buying packages. So.
Now, what was the cost of that? Must have been.
Well,
just
at that time
phenomenal.
it was probably around $8 or $10, I think, a pack.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
See,
Yeah.
I quit when it was $5 a pack.
Yeah.
And over a lifetime, the cost of smoking, and this
Oh.
is even in the States where it's cheaper to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
You look at your healthcare costs, your
Yeah.
loss of income, everything. Probably costs you about $1 million. Like if you don't smoke, so I'm telling you, people, don't smoke. If you don't smoke, put that money in the bank, and put that $10 a day in the bank, and you'll be a millionaire one day.
No, yeah, yeah.
So now when I quit, Ron had me on the patch. He had me on the gum.
Ron did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, he monitored it.
Yeah.
And I also, did you see any counselors about quitting smoking, or was
I went to a support group at the,
the 808th Street building?
I'm sorry, yeah, on 108th Street. And a fellow came in one day and his head was bald and
Yeah.
he had cancer and they didn't know how long he was going to live for.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I think that kind of struck a nerve in me. I don't want to end up like that, so
Oh, no kidding.
yeah,
Yeah, we don't want to lose you, Sandy.
yeah. Oh, it's a pleasure being here.
Well, can you tell me more about your family and how they supported you
Oh, my
through
God.
your difficulties?
Oh, my family is just so superb, Leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about your brother a lot. Is there anything you'd like to say to your brother about your
I
brother?
love him. He does so much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a busy fellow and he takes his time out for me when he can.
I understand he stores your record collection.
Yeah, I've owned about 2,500 records, so
Wow.
yeah.
Well, what are some of your favorites?
I like rock. I'm still listening to The Who and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and all those guys.
Oh
and
boy, they're having fun. That's
getting to be an old guy.
oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've recently discovered some of the folk music singers of the early '70s. Have you experienced those guys very much? Or Gordon Lightfoot, Ralph McTell?
Oh yeah, I'm a big Ralph McTell fan.
Oh really?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I just discovered him. I didn't know the first thing about him.
Did you like him or?
I love him.
Yeah.
He wrote a book actually.
I didn't know that.
He said, like they were interviewing him. I went on YouTube, and this is probably going to end up on YouTube, but I went on YouTube to sort of get some information about him. And they were interviewing him, and here he was in his 60s or 70s even, gray hair, short gray hair, just totally different from what he appeared on his record albums. And he said, well, my early life was very difficult. After the war, we didn't have anything, you know. And my songs, like my favorite song of his is The Streets of London.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah. But he said his songs sort of rounded out the edges of everything that went on, and he wrote from his own experiences. Now I've written a book about my own experiences, so this is something that I very much related to with Ralph McTell. I wrote a book called Through the Withering Storm, and probably going to put a little thing up on the screen there for you to order it. But yeah, Ralph McTell wrote this book, and when I find it, I'm really going to enjoy reading it.
I'm pretty sure he played. I know he played at the folk festival here in
Really?
Edmonton a couple times. So.
Amazing.
He was playing at a whole bunch of coffee shops or something like that.
Yeah.
In Edmonton when he came here.
Yeah.
He didn't just play at the folk festival. So.
Oh wow. Huh. Now, did you ever listen to much Roger Whittaker?
A little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He, my mom was a big fan of his, and it's funny. I don't know if you met my dad, or if you saw my dad, but my dad looks like Roger Whittaker. He has the same short beard, the same horn-rimmed glasses, and the same, wavy hair. Roger Whittaker now looks older than my dad, though, because Roger Whittaker's hair is gray. But yeah. Now, can you tell us about the other members of your family? Like,
I have two sisters living in Calgary.
Yep.
Uh,
And
Brother-in-law.
sorry to interrupt, Sandy. I just want to say, at the time of this video, there's been a terrible natural disaster in Calgary.
yeah,
Flooding just beyond belief. And,
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot
I'm
of
going down
problems.
there in August, actually. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, talk about your sister. I just wanted to note that for people who might be watching this that
Yeah.
weren't aware. But you
Yeah.
have two sisters?
Yeah, two sisters and a former brother-in-law who's now a friend.
Yep.
Yeah, I've talked to them. They're all fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, just the lower part of Calgary got it bad. So
Yeah.
they live in the upper part of Calgary, so
Mhm.
they're fine. So
Oh, yeah. Calgary
But
is
it's
a
pretty
very
sad.
beautiful city.
it
And
is.
It's such a shame.
Yeah, I know Edmontonians don't like it, but I think it's a beautiful city. I love going down there.
Oh,
so,
yeah. When I was 3 years old, I was going to kindergarten. Maybe I was 4 years old. I can't remember
Mhm.
which. But very young. For the very first time, my dad let me skip school because he was going to Calgary and back in one day, and I just gave him the old eyes and the tears and everything. I want to go to Calgary with you, Dad. He took me down there, and it was just an amazing trip. But,
yeah. Yeah, well, it's very sad, but I'm sure they'll recover. And
Yeah. Now, you find it. Some of your difficulties, I guess, are that you have difficulty in social situations.
I'm sorry?
Do you find that? Do you have difficulty in social situations like riding a bus or?
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of the buses at times.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
I just mean about getting to Calgary if you were going to take the Greyhound.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, a little bit fearful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's I've always seen traveling as something that you learn a lot. You
Yeah.
refresh yourself or you renew yourself.
You have to keep trying it, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I just that's a difficulty that a lot of people with mental health issues
Mhm.
have. Number one is to have the money to travel.
Yeah.
Now I do travel, but mostly within Canada because it's much cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But you also I remember my aunt. My aunt had lots of money, and she just spent her last years. She had unipolar depression.
Oh dear.
And she spent her last years smoking cigarettes and watching TV, and she could have taken a trip to Europe if she was well,
Mm-hmm.
but it just was really unfortunate. But
Mhm.
yeah. So can you maybe talk about have you done any trips? Have you been to Vancouver?
No, I'm not really a big traveler. I've been in Anaheim, California once.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've been
I've been to
myself.
Vancouver a few times.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What did you do in Vancouver?
Visited a sister who lived down there at the time. So
Oh okay.
yeah.
And Anaheim, that's where Disneyland is?
No, there. My dad took us down there on a business trip.
Oh,
They offered him a free trip to take the family, so we went.
wow. Okay. Yeah, my dad drove us down. We bought a little trailer, and my dad drove us down. I think it was about 1980, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove all the way to Disneyland, and we went to Disneyland. We got there, and the first thing I did was took off from everybody else. And as a kid, it was okay to take off
Yeah.
because no, not in Disneyland. It's not okay to take off at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
But where I grew up, I was used to riding my bike wherever I wanted. If I wanted to go to the park, if I wanted to go to the movies, that was fine. But here we are in the middle of 30 million people in Southern California, and we get through the gates of Disneyland, and I just took right off.
Oh.
And they spent the day looking for me and ruined their day in Disneyland, and I was just going around having fun. And,
Mm-hmm.
I feel so terrible about it now. But yeah.
Well, you were young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta sort of accept that
Yeah.
the things are in the past. You can't change them.
No.
That's something. Have you ever had therapy? Have you ever had like a one-on-one with a psychologist?
Oh yeah, I've got a psychiatrist, a regular psychiatrist. She's good.
Well, I mean, there's a thing I've been hearing about called cognitive behavioral therapy.
I've never heard of that.
Well, cognitive is thinking, and then behavioral is doing.
Mm-hmm.